April is Parkinson's Awareness Month. And if you're like so many people out there, you've heard of Parkinson's disease, you don't know that much about it, who is more prone to get it, how do I treat it, what do I do if I have it, how do we manage all of this? Well, today we are going to talk about that. So if you want to know more about this, please just stay tuned. Hey, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Scan FYI. Yeah, it's Parkinson's Awareness Month coming up in April. We have the perfect person today to talk about this. My guest today is Shannon Slattery. She is from Encompass in Toms River. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for being with me, Shannon.
Of course, of course. Excited to talk about all things Parkinson's.
So, why don't you introduce yourself and tell everyone what is your role at Encompass and, your role especially as far as the Parkinson's program, and then we'll get into our questions.
Sure. So I am Shannon. I've been a speech language pathologist for the past 9 years now. It goes quick. And 8 of those years, I've actually worked with the Encompass Health company. I originally started up in Massachusetts at a location and have since transferred back home to Toms River. There's about over 150 plus of the Encompass Healths across our country. We are the national leading provider of inpatient rehabs in the country. So I'm excited to be able to work for such a great population. I've been working with our joint certified program for Parkinson's for the past 2+ years. We just passed our second certification. I was part of the team for the initial certification, so got to be part of a great team to really focus in on that population, learn more about it, learn how we can help for this specific demographic. So it's been really, really great to be involved in such a program as this. Specifically for our in-house, we focus in on certain factors while patients are in the inpatient setting. Typically,
Okay.
patients are here around 10 days to 2 weeks, depending on what they come in with. Could be many other things happening in addition to a diagnosis of Parkinson's. So it's not necessarily that someone just comes here for Parkinson's, but it is possible that they can come with just that diagnosis. We have, as far as our therapy team goes, physical therapists, occupational therapists, and speech therapists like myself that work
Okay.
together to really target the Parkinson's community when we're working with those patients to help manage any side effects, help reduce symptoms, and help them to get back to functioning in their community setting as they were prior. So it's
All
kind
right.
of an all-encompassing team. I like to say we all work together.
So, first of all, for you listening, I will have all of the contact info for Shannon at Encompass, so you don't have to worry about writing anything down. It'll all be in the show notes. So, first of all, Shannon, I feel like there are a lot of people out there. You've heard of Parkinson's disease. Maybe someone in your family has it, maybe you have it. But for everyone else, please explain what is Parkinson's? Most people don't have a full grasp of it.
Yeah, so it is something like you said, you hear a lot, but don't maybe know too many of the details. Scientifically, it's a progressive neurological condition that affects motor movements. So that could mean anything, the basic that you might see, like you said, you see someone with tremors or that slow movements. But in reality, it can affect so many other parts of our body and the brain. You might see the slowness, the muscle stiffness, the rigidity. You might also notice some symptoms like a loss of some sense of smell, sleep disturbances, softening of the voice, difficulty with swallowing. So those are just some of the few that maybe an early change you might notice and say, is something going on? And when that happens, we definitely recommend either following up with your primary care physician first, just to kind of get a baseline, and then a possible pivot to a neurologist for some further testing.
So you're describing changes that wouldn't be they're outside of the normal range. Something just looks wrong, I should say, or your voice changes a little bit. Or I think people have seen, people having a tremor in their hands or the stiffness, the way they walk.
Right, as like the most common, so to say, symptom.
Yeah.
But honestly, if you lined up maybe 10 people who all were diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, they might all present differently and have different kind of symptoms that they are personally dealing with. And it's not one way or the other to say why certain things happen based on age, based on gender. It's still kind of an unknown disorder, so to say, in terms of why it's coming about and how to medically management. There's a lot of research still that needs to happen and still to progress forward. So um, I think that's kind of where we're
All right.
hopefully going in the future.
Yeah, we do hope so. So, is there a demographic, an age group that is more prone to this or more likely to wind up having Parkinson's?
Nothing that's honed in to say, like women in their 50s should watch out. It's nothing like that, that it's a specific group. It's more just when the symptoms start to come about, that's when I would say earlier is better to get to your neurologist and see what's going on so that you can be implementing strategies to management earlier and then potentially start medication to support it earlier. There's nothing right now that's quote unquote a cure, so to say. There's just therapy and medications that are available to support the disease progression as time goes on.
So we can't even blame this on a lifestyle situation.
Exactly, exactly. Which makes it even more harder and more of a reason that we do not like Parkinson's disease, but we like the way we can help people deal with it. So that's our goal as therapists.
So as a therapist, if someone is diagnosed and hopefully early, because obviously early intervention is the best, what
Yep,
are some of the kinds of therapies that I could expect that that could help me manage? Because we can't cure it, but we have to manage it.
exactly. And here in our hospital, we work so closely with the physical therapists, occupational therapists, and speech therapists to really work to overcome this. And if you think of Parkinson's, it's almost like it's shrinking, bringing in the muscles and movements of the whole body. And so that's why you kind of think it says, muscles are shrinking. It doesn't mean they're getting smaller. It just means the movements are getting smaller. That's why you see the shuffling gait. Instead of taking big
Oh,
steps forward,
okay.
they're only
Yeah.
moving a little bit slower. So a lot of times what we're thinking, some of the national therapies that we're trained in for Parkinson's disorders would be a big or loud, if you've heard of those, LSVT big, the Lee Silverman voice therapy for loud. So it's stretching out your voice, stretching out your movements. So you're not letting Parkinson's shrink your body. You're taking control of it and you're stretching it out. So that's a lot of the recommendations that we work on.
Now, did you also say that it can have cognitive effects as well as the physical?
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely. And a
what
lot
kind
of
of things can happen?
it can affect memory, it can affect processing, both Parkinson's, the disorder itself, and some of the medications that are recommended for Parkinson's, unfortunately, can cause hallucinations. So that
Mm.
is something definitely to watch out for. Another side effect that isn't so easy to see someone having in front of you, but could be happening to them. So
You
another
know,
thing to watch out for.
with all the different symptoms, before we started recording, you used the expression it's an iceberg disease.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I see that
So
now. Just listen. So
yeah.
explain that because it makes total sense to me.
Like we said, what you might see just on the surface is tremors or someone, having struggling to eat, having that low voice. But all of a sudden, we look below the surface and there's so many more things happening. Like we said, cognitive changes, sleep disturbances, depression, a lot of side effects that can come that aren't so easily managed. And because of that, because it's not as widely seen, widely known for families, for the patients themselves, a lot harder to manage sometimes, a lot harder to bring up to your doctor to know, oh wait, this is happening because I have Parkinson's, or this is related to that. So it's um, there's always, resources to know how this is all connected, but the point of it is just increase your awareness, and so that once you're aware, you know how to ask for help and get guided in the right direction. Like, who should I be speaking to, for each symptom that could be more prevalent.
So as I'm listening to you, I'm realizing now that there are so many variables in the
Mhm.
symptoms. And of course, it's not a one size fits all. Everyone is going to be different. But a lot of the
Exactly.
symptoms seem, when taken by itself, very minor. But
Yeah,
obviously, when you put them all together. So now I'm thinking, to our listeners out there, should you see maybe one or two of these things in a person or in yourself, you need to realize you do need to see your primary physician first and
definitely.
find out what's really going on here.
Yeah, definitely the place to start. Hopefully, if you have a good kind of following with them, you'll be able to see a change sooner, as opposed to, oh, I haven't seen them in a really long time and now I'm having X, Y, and Z symptoms. It's always good to get in, get a baseline, and then be able to know if a change is happening. So definitely start with your primary care, and they'll know to refer you right to a neurologist. And then for a neurologist, connecting it to Encompass Health, they could direct you right to us if an inpatient rehab stay could be beneficial to you. That's something that we kind of call almost like a Parkinson's tune-up. We provide a lot of education, potentially some equipment if anything is needed that you didn't have at home, maybe some
Right.
adaptable eating equipment. We were talking about the tremors before, to help. It helps kind of steady a utensil, support for holding a pen to help with writing, whether it's bigger equipment like a walker or a commode, if anything like that is needed. And it's stuff maybe that can be so simple you didn't even think about. Sometimes we use guided color tape on stairs. If the vision changes are happening, that can help guide someone more easily up the stairs independently. That's always our goal, is to get someone as independent as possible, as safely as possible. So a lot of it is personal to each patient that comes here specifically. We're not gonna be guiding someone to be doing the stairs if they don't have stairs at home.
Right.
It's all very functional. So that's what the goal is here. We get to know our patients very well to help guide them on their journey.
So because it's such a it seems like for every person, Parkinson's is going to be different. So what are the tools that doctors use to diagnose this?
It depends on how far along progressed the person could be. They might do more extensive neurological tests, whether that means like a brain scan, more differentiating in that sense, or just a general questionnaire to get started. Are you having these symptoms? Just to start getting the ball rolling in terms of, are things progressing? What kind of stage are you at? So it depends on where they are at and what the neurologist might decide.
So is there anything, I'll say, look into your crystal ball, Shannon,
Uh,
coming down the pike to really help Parkinson's patients?
as far as what I see in terms of the research coming about on a monthly basis, is hope that the medication management is progressing. That's kind of where we're seeing the most focus, I
Okay.
would say, as far as the nationwide support foundations are putting their efforts. And that's because, most of the medications have a levodopa component. So that's helping to replenish the dopamine. That's helping to be able to have the person control their movements again, not have them be so tight and so where they're not able to move the way they want to. That's the benefit of the medication. It helps patients to manage their movements. And so the goal eventually, of course, is always to find a cure, but it's to find even better medications too,
To
to
manage it.
provide the management at this time. Because in talking about the medications that they're developing, one of the key components is medication timing. That's something you're going to hear a lot related to Parkinson's and Parkinson's management, is the medication timing. So if they're on the specific Parkinson's medication, they should be taking the dosage at the same time every day. Say it's 9, 3, and 9, whatever their split is, so that it's um, releasing the same time every day so that they're getting the most out of the medication. Their
Right.
body knows how to respond to it. And then they'll see kind of those on and off times, whether they're releasing at the times that it should.
Well, with any luck, this is one of those things that there isn't a cure yet, but clearly there are many excellent ways to manage this situation
Exactly.
if you do find
Exactly.
yourself. So that's the good news. And I'm
Yeah.
going to remind everyone that all of Shannon's info is in the show notes. You do have a support group at your Toms River location, and I'll put the phone number for the Toms River location because at SCAN we do get phone calls asking about Parkinson's support groups. So
Yeah.
we're going to refer you to with that phone number. Okay,
Yeah. Perfect. Please do.
Shannon. Thank you for
of
all this info
course.
because I do feel like this is one of those more mysterious diseases that people just need to be more aware of the symptoms so that they can get checked out and manage it.
Of course, get help from your doctors, get support from your family, just to make it more of a thing that we're able to talk about instead of kind of sweep under the rug, so to say.
Right, right.
Perfect. And one more plug I want to throw out there is in our
Yes.
Ocean County chapter, we have our second annual fundraising walk for Parkinson's happening in April. I'm hosting that in Seaside Park. It's on April 18th, 9 a.m. If anyone is out and about and wants to do a quick walk on the boardwalk, come and join me. I'll be there.
How can people find out more about that?
I will send you my link. It's right, you register right online, so it's nice and easy. And this year we're supporting the National Parkinson's Foundation, so all the proceeds go right to them.
You send me that link and I
Yeah,
will also put it out on our social media pages for you.
perfect. Oh, I so
Okay?
appreciate that. Thanks. Yeah.
Okay. All right. We've been speaking with Shannon Slattery from Encompass, learning more about Parkinson's disease because April is Parkinson's Awareness Month, and I want everyone out there to be more aware. Thank you so much, Shannon. Okay, remember out there, if it's important to you, it's important to us. I'm Andrea Tarr. We'll see you next time on Scan FYI. Bye, everyone, and bye, Shannon.